Hi, Peter Eddie here. How you doing today? Listen, I got a question. People are having some kind of controversy. Paul started his tour on the opening song that he chose. Now, in the past, he had chosen as an opening song A Hard Day's Night, and we also did as an opening song Can't Buy Me Love. And for this time around, he chose Help, which is a great Beatles song, one of their best. The controversy is it's a John song. Well, Hard Day's Night is also a John song. But, so what's wrong with Paul singing a John song? I think there might be things wrong with it. First of all, why can't he sing one of his own? He had so many great songs. He has so many more songs than John had. He had 40 more years of writing. John died in 1980. 45 more years of writing. So, why can't he pick his own songs? It would have been nice if he picked, they hadn't done this in a long time, Venus and Mars and Rock Show. That would have been great. Start off with Venus and Mars and Rock Show. Go into Jet. Then go into a Junior's Farm. And things like that. Oh. That would be great. But he didn't do that. He picked A Hard Day's Night. He picked Help. John Lennon's song. I don't like that he does For the Benefit of Mr. Kite. That's a John song. One of the few John songs on Sgt. Pepper. And he had nothing to do with it. Why is he singing that? He's singing as a tribute to John. But let me ask you. He does songs of a tribute to John. Here Today is a tribute to John. As a song he wrote for John. But Mr. Kite is not a tribute to John. Mr. Kite is a John song. And then he has a tribute. He does a tribute also to George. He does something. So let me ask you this: Is he get the okay from the Lennon and Harrison estate to do these songs? Why is he allowed to do it? They're not his songs. And you can say, every Beatles song is his song. Okay, so why don't he do Ringo songs? Tell you why he doesn't do Ringo songs. Because Ringo will beat the shit out of him. Ringo would say, those are my songs. What are you doing? Even if you wrote it. All right, you wrote with a little help from my friends, but it's still mine. Don't you ever do that. Don't you ever do my friends. That's my song. That's what I do with the All-Star Band. Don't you ever do Yellow Submarine. I know you wrote it, but don't do it. That's my song. And don't do songs I wrote. Don't do Octopus's Garden. Don't Let Me Down. Don't do It Don't Come Easy. Don't do No Song. Paul never does those songs. Why doesn't Paul do those songs? Why doesn't Paul say, I want to do some songs with my friend Ringo? Because Ringo would get very angry. How come Ringo doesn't do Paul songs? They say, the All Star band. They say, I want to do some songs for my friend Paul. Yesterday, all my troubles. He doesn't do that because Paul would be very angry at him if he did that. So why is Paul allowed to do John Lennon songs and George Harrison songs? And why is the estates of Lennon and Harrison allowing it? Isn't it copyrighted? I don't know. I don't understand. Now, why did the song help? What's wrong with doing help? Well, first it helps a Lennon song. Of course, you sang in the background. So I have an idea. You wanted to be as authentic a Lennon Beatles song as possible. You know what? Maybe he should have done. He shouldn't have sang the lead and the whole song. Let him do, a little bit like Wings. Have someone else sing it. Brian could sing, or one of the other guys singing. Let them sing, and then let Paul and Brian on the side could be like McCartney and Harrison and do the background. Like, let's say, one of the guys would sing, "Help! I need somebody, help." Then, no, they would say, "Help!" And then he said, "I need somebody, help. Not just anybody, help." You know what I mean? When I was younger, I never need, that would be Paul's part. I never needed, and he doesn't have to do the lead. He doesn't have to do the lead. Why not do it that way? It'd be more authentic of a Beatles song that way, if they could do it that way. Let Paul on the side, do it with, let's say, Brian. That would be like Paul and George, and then let the other guy do the lead. Why not do that? But he'll never do that. He wouldn't do that because Paul likes to do leads. Paul wants to do the whole song. And what's Paul trying to do? Is Paul saying that, I represent the Beatles, and whatever I do, it's gonna be Beatles, because it's me, because I'm Paul McCartney, and that's I'm gonna be, and that's me. I do Lennon songs, I do McCartney songs, I do Harrison songs, and I don't do Ringo Starr songs. I don't do it because Ringo Starr will kill me. But so what do you think? You could have did, you know what? And another idea. Take the flip side of Help. Help was a single. The flip side was I'm Down. That's a Paul song. You do that. Do that as your opening song. I'm Down. Some people, I commented on that. And some people said, well, Paul can't sing like that anymore. But you know what? Paul can do better with a rocker and doing in a screaming voice than he does in ballads. So maybe he could do that. Maybe he could do I'm Down. So that's my question is, what do you think? You think Paul should do Lennon songs? Opening a Lennon song, or should Paul do open with a Harrison song, or maybe Paul should open with a Ringo song? I don't know. Well, why can't Paul open with his own songs? He has so many. There's so many songs he could open up with. How about Silly Love Songs? Why don't you open up with that? I think people would like that. Okay, that's what I want to say. So what's your opinion? Do you think Paul should sing Lennon songs, open up with pure Lennon songs, or another Beatle? Or just do his own songs? I mean, do your own Beatles songs. I'm not telling you not to do Beatles songs. You should do as many Beatles songs as you want, as you can, but do your own. Don't mess around and do other people's songs. Okay, so that's why I want to talk. That's why I want to ask you. I want to get your opinion, what you think. Should Paul open up with help? Okay, take care, guys. Have a great day.